Hi everyone. So today I went through a very good question uh, of JEE mains last year. So why this question is very good question because this covers the concept of differentiation, means application of mathematics in kinematics, which is a part of physics, right? So let us start solving this question. Uh, what this question says, a body starts falling freely from height h, hits an inclined plane in its path at height h. Okay, fine. So what they are saying, let me draw a diagram for you. There is an inclined plane, okay, and a body is falling somewhere from here. Just say, just take this body is falling from here. Suppose that this body is at this point, okay, and the height which body has to fall. Let me change the color and show you. The height which body has to fall is, suppose that, let us take this, okay. So the body has to fall technically this much height, okay. They are saying okay, this height is h, this height is h, right? So now again we will read the question. A body start falling freely from height h, hits an inclined plane in its path at height h. Now they are saying that this in the body is hitting this inclined plane somewhere here, okay, somewhere here, which is at height h from the reference point. They are saying that this height is h, okay. This body is falling from some height capital H, and it is hitting the inclined plane at the point which is at height small h from the ground, right? So technically this height will become h minus small h. Fine. Now they are saying that as a result of this perfectly elastic impact. Now they are saying that the impact is perfectly elastic. Perfectly elastic. Very important point here. What is meant by perfectly elastic? It is, there are two meanings of perfectly elastic, right? It means we have to see that energy is conserved, technically kinetic energy is conserved, and also momentum is conserved. And also momentum is conserved, right? So let us see if this body is hitting this point and it is perfectly elastic collision. So body will travel like this. Body will travel like this. Let me change the color and show you. Body will travel like this technically. Body will travel like this. Okay, fine. This will act like a normal. This will act like a normal. This will act like a normal, right? Now, if the velocity of the body while hitting the inclined plane is v, then we can say that after reflecting from the surface, its velocity will be again v. It will be again v. Why? Because it is a perfectly elastic collision and energy is conserved. Energy का loss नहीं हुआ. There is no loss of energy. So it will not change its velocity. Right? Perfectly fine. Now, what is the question? They are asking the direction of the velocity of the body becomes horizontal. Okay, we already knew that. Okay, the value of h upon h, they are asking technically capital H upon a small h, for which the body will take the maximum time. Now here the main play is here. They are asking you for which it will take the maximum time to reach the ground. They are basically saying that you have to maximize the time. Understood? Now, now I will tell you something. In physics, if the examiner is asking you to maximize something. Simple thinking you have to keep in your mind, that you have to differentiate that quantity. Like in this question, they are asking you to maximize the time. So first of all, your goal should be to find, what should be your goal in your brain? To find an equation, which contains, time and a, a variable quantity, a variable quantity on which time is dependent. Time is dependent. This should be your goal. I'm generalizing this because look, they can ask you anything. There are several questions in which they will ask you to maximize velocity. They can ask you anything to maximize. They can ask you to maximize force, anything. So in each and every question, there should be a simple thinking that whatever they are saying to maximize, you have to just make an equation containing that quantity, and you have to find a variable on which that quantity depends. Okay. Now, let us find the equation for time, right? Now, they are saying that the body has to reach the ground. They are saying the body has to reach the ground. So we have to consider both times. Let me change the color so that you can understand properly. So you have to consider both the times. The time which the body has taken from to fall up to height h minus h, and also the time which it will take to fall small h. The time it will take to fall small h. Now, it is very easy to find the time for h minus h because it is a linear motion, right? So we can easily find the time for h minus h. We can apply the formula of t equals to, I'm writing the general formula first, root under 2s upon g, because we are considering it is dropped, u is 0, right? So we can use this formula. If we'll put the value of s here, s is technically h minus small h, right? Upon g. So this is our t1. Technically, we can say that this is the time for first half before colliding the inclined plane, the time it took to come up to inclined plane, right? This is t1. Now the game changes. Now it will move horizontally. But what will happen? Gravity will pull it, right? So it will start doing a projectile motion, right? From here, it will move like this. It will move like this. And finally, it will fall, right? Okay, fine. Understood. So technically, this V is none of our use because we have to find time. And time of fall will depend upon only the vertical velocity. So here the vertical velocity is technically uy. Uy is basically 0, right? Uy is 0 and s is h. So again, if we'll apply the formula, t2 will be root under 2h upon g. So we can say total time t is t1 plus t2, which is root under 2 h minus a small h upon g plus root under 2h upon g. Nice. I hope you are understanding this thing, right? Let us go a little bit downward. Okay, fine. So we are able to find the equation of time. We are able to find the equation of time. Understood? Remember what is our goal? This is our goal. Okay. This is our goal, to find an equation which contains time and a variable quantity on which time is dependent. Okay, fine. So we have found a equation containing time and a variable also. Here, what is the variable? You can understand. Small h is technically variable. We don't know about a small h, right? It can be anything. Small h can be anything. Like somebody can have different small h, somebody can have different small h. It is technically, it is changing. Okay, it is a variable. Small h is a variable, and on which this total time is dependent. Now, जैसे ही तुम्हें ये मिल गया, what you will do, you have to just to maximize time or maximize any quantity. To maximize time, we just need to differentiate time with the variable on which it is dependent. And what is happening? Yes. dt by dh equals to 0. Okay. Here the differentiation comes into play. So technically we have to differentiate the total time with respect to the variable on which it was dependent. And we have to equate it with 0. Now, if we differentiate this thing, okay, if we differentiate this thing, total time, so we have to write like this, d by dh root under 2 into h minus h upon g plus root under 2h upon g equals to 0. Isn't it looking little bit complicated? Isn't it looking little bit complicated? But we can make it easy, right? We'll do something like, okay, fine. Let us do it like this. I will split it. Okay. Let us first split it into two parts. d by dh root under 2h by g equals to 0. Now, what I will do, I will simply use the differentiation technique. Look, root under 2 by g is constant. So technically, I will take that out and I will differentiate simply h minus h, root under h minus h. Similarly, here also, I will take root under 2 by g outside and I will differentiate root under small h. Now, we can take root under 2 by g common. So what we are getting, d by dh root under h minus h plus d by dh root under h equals to 0. Now you can simply see this thing, if you'll take it right side, it will become 0. It will become 0. Now the thing is very easy, right? Now the thing is very easy. So if we differentiate root under h minus h, technically it is, चलो थोड़ा सा और simplify कर देता हूँ. It is like h minus h to the power half plus d by dh h to the power half equals to 0. अब तो ज्यादा सिंप्लीफाई हो गया, अभी कर लेते हैं, ठीक है? तो हाफ h minus h and half minus 1 dot चेन रूल लगाएंगे, minus h का differentiation it will be minus 1, right? Again plus half h to the power half minus 1, it will be again minus half equals to 0. अगेन हाफ को मैं कॉमन ले लूंगा, तो अंदर मेरे पास क्या बचेगा, h माइनस एच पावर में माइनस हाफ बचा, तो इसको मैं लिख सकता हूँ माइनस 1 बाई रूट अंडर h माइनस एच, और यहाँ पे मैं लिख सकता हूँ 1 बाई रूट अंडर h. This will become 0. Again half will go that side and it will be cancelled out. What we are getting finally, root under h is equals to 1 by root under h minus h. Squaring both sides, it will become 1 by h equals to 1 by h minus h. That will be h minus h equals to h. H equals to 2h. And h by h will be 2. So 2 will be our answer. Right? So look, the question was, it was a bit difficult question, but if we are able to differentiate it properly, if we are not losing our confidence while differentiating, we will be easily getting the answer. Fine. Okay.